I'm here today with Taylor E. Stevens. Welcome, Taylor. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
I want to ask you about, I've heard you say whatever we want to get rid of, we're stuck with. If we need to let it go. We need to, the more we dwell or try to analyze, it stays. How do we jockey that through life?
That's a huge question. I think what you're pointing to, what you probably have heard me talk about, is resistance to what is.
Yes.
So, particularly in emotional fluency work, people want to get rid of painful or uncomfortable emotion. The challenge with that is, it's kind of inherent in your question, is that what you want to get rid of, you're bringing a resistance to, which actually feeds and amplifies whatever it is that you're focusing on and trying to get rid of. So I think of it kind of as an energetic Velcro. So you think you want to get rid of it, but the impulse to get rid of is not a healing impulse. It's not integrating. So rather than thinking about getting rid of something that is uncomfortable, perhaps play with, at least, using acceptance and inclusion as opposed to exclusion and resistance. So it's, if something is uncomfortable, of course we want comfort. However, particularly in any kind of a spiritual awakening, a spiritual emergence, a piece of that will always be a level of discomfort. It's energy, and as energetic beings, there are things that are trapped in our system that we have not allowed to flow through. Energy is always meant to flow. Emotion is meant to flow through. As soon as you want to get rid of something, what happens energetically is you build a dam.
With that feeling alone.
Yes. Yes. When you dam something, using that usage of the word, you literally dam it. So it puts a block and stops the flow of energy that is meant to flow. So as with water that is dammed physically, the water builds up, becomes more intense and there's more movement in it. That happens in our energy systems as well. Mm-hmm. So healing is a restoration of the flow. It's a restoration of wholeness. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean it's bad. We are, particularly in New Thought spirituality, so I'm the senior minister at a Unity congregation. Unity historically is all about comfort, love, light, everything is great. No.
And it's not.
It's not. That's not the human experience. And so there will always be discomfort. There will always be turbulence at some level. There are going to be times where we're in the flow, and there are going to be times when we are not. And so when you begin to feel the movement kind of intensify, that's when we're going to say, oh, wait, I want to get rid of this. I want to get rid of this. I want to stop it. I want to make it go away. And what that does is it dams, and then the energy can't flow.
So it builds it.
It absolutely makes it stronger. Integration says, okay, this is uncomfortable. This is uncomfortable. The impulse is to, the healing is to move into it.
Which is just what we don't
go
feel.
with the flow. To not want to be rid of it, to include it in the wholeness, include it in the totality of your experience. Contrast is a great teacher, right? There will always be contrast. There will always be darkness and light, always. There will always be comfort and discomfort. There will always be peace and there will always be conflict to some level, right? As we learn to become more inclusive and more friendly, not this is uncomfortable, I'm going to get rid of it. Rather, oh, this is an experience in my energy field. Something is seeking to flow through and I'm stopping. Let me open to it. Let me open the dam and allow the flow.
Well, and you just displayed leaning.
I lean into a feeling. Okay. It's the aliveness. We're so locked into here, which is governed by duality, good, bad, right, wrong, dark, light. Drop down. Be inclusive. Say, wow, this is a really uncomfortable feeling. Wow, there's a part of me that really wants to get rid of it. I want this to go away. It's not going to heal it. You know what we do? We end up shoving it down where it continues to fester, gets stronger, build, then it rises up again. It's why we have multiple experiences that we think we don't want, like marriage. How many people have married the same type of a person multiple times? And we get rid of the sucker, right, that we thought we were so in love with. And then, after a short period of time, Mr. Right. And then the same pattern. That energy has never been integrated. It's never been healed. And so patterns repeat until they are integrated. That is how consciousness works. Our opinion of it is irrelevant. That's how it's going to work.
It's what we do with it.
It's what we do with it. And so it's like, okay, oh, wait, here's the same feeling. I had this feeling then, and then, and then, and then, because I never allowed the feeling to flow through me. We are meant to be flow-throughs of energy. The more we learn to flow, the less damning we do, the less damnation we feel. It's a movement. We're meant to move.
Fluid.
It is fluid, literally. Yeah. It's literally. Energy is meant to be fluid. I think in one of these, maybe it was in a different context, so forgive me, but we talk about the difference between ice, water, and mist. Mm-hmm. The ice needs to be melted, not by getting rid of it, but you bring presence to it, and the ice, which seems so completely solid, then can move into water, which can flow and then become mist. That's a spiritual evolution. But if we block it, the ice can't melt.
And we're feeding them.
And we're absolutely blocking it. Yeah.
That's a beautiful visual.
Can you feel it?
Absolutely.
When you can feel it, you can heal it.
Oh, I like that. I've never heard that before.
Oh, come on. When you can feel it, you can heal it.
That's succinct. It makes
sense. When you do not feel it, you cannot heal it.
You cannot heal it.
Period. The end. That's
because then you're just building the dam.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's meant to flow.
That's very helpful. I found that very helpful. We hope you did. Thank you, Taylor.